when we were talking about the past, I think the RTE programme and the makers of that programme last night and RTE Investigates should be complimented for their work on highlighting the torture that took place in the north of Ireland. When you look at the fact that it was taken at a high level at the British government, ministers and prime ministers were aware that torture took place in the north of Ireland, perpetrated on Irish citizens, that it was taken before the EU by Jack Lynch, and that the EU found that the British did not torture those citizens. But of course, information was withheld from those judges in the European courts, and now it is open to the Irish government to have that case reviewed. But what we do see is we see a situation in relation to the Ballymurphy massacre, which happened 40 years ago, where we had 11 people were killed in West Belfast in a matter of days by British soldiers. And the British refused to have any investigation into it. What we now see, because of RTE and the Pat Finucane Centre, is we see that the British politicians had taken decisions to torture Irish citizens. Now, what I'm going to ask the government is, why have they not asked the British ambassador to come in and to make available to the Irish government files to do with the bombings in Dublin, the bombings in Monaghan, the killings in Ballymurphy, the torture of Irish citizens. The torture of Irish citizens was used by and the ruling of the EU court was used by the US government to justify torturing Iraqi citizens and using stress positions and the 5 techniques used in Derry and in Belfast by the British government with the sanction of British politicians to justify the torture of Iraqi citizens, most recently in the invasion of Iraq. So what happened in the past is happening in the present, and what I want to know is, what is the Irish government doing, and why have they not asked the British ambassador to come in and explain how it was sanctioned at the highest level of the British government to allow